I'm in a field with my friend Hunter. We're crouching down lower than the grass because there's a man with a gun looking for us. We saw this coming, yet we're both here anyway. It's probably not even going to be worth it. Right now, I just hope we don't get shot. Beck Sultana is why we're here. You know, the creator of Bexplore, the channel on YouTube. She's not just an urban explorer. She checks out lots of caves and mines and scary places like that. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie myself, so I get a bit of a rush from watching her channel. I'm not alone either. Over 2 million sweaty-palmed viewers watch her every video. A couple of times a year, Bexplore likes to give back to the fans with a game. She picks somewhere not too dangerous, but usually remote. Somewhere not many people would recognize by sight, and hides something valuable for us to find. People get crazy with checking metadata and satellites. They use tiny details like the sorts of trees in the background, the color of the dirt, the weather on the recording date to deduce the mystery location. Bexplore turns us all into Sherlock Holmes. I don't know how to do all that technical stuff, but I have my brother Hunter. Hunter's no smarter than me, but without much to do out here in the boonies, Hunter likes to just wander around outdoors. When Bexplore posted her latest challenge video, Hunter called me into his room. He said, "Jake, guess what? Have you seen the new Bexplore video?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I know where it is. The waterfall in the video is in the woods behind Old Man Garber's place." He seemed certain Bexplore shot her last challenge video at a waterfall in the woods behind Old Man Garber's land. No way she went through Old Man Garber's property, though. Not a chance. Bill Garber was ancient when Hunter and I were little. Now I don't know what to call him. He's an ornery guy, I guess because his wife drowned years ago. My parents say that changed him a lot. He's famous for shooting at hunters or birders or little kids who trespass on his big property, which is dumb because it's not like he's doing anything with it. Dad always says the biggest bucks in the county live on Old Man Garber's land, but if you shoot one, you're next. "We should sneak in at night," I said to Hunter. "That might be too late," he said. "I might not be the only person who knows about that waterfall." So that's how we ended up here, crouched in the grass behind Old Man Garber's place. He's yelling something. It sounds like he has peanut butter in his mouth. I can't understand a word he's saying, and neither can Hunter. "What are we going to do?" asks Hunter. "Stay low and keep moving," I say. I'd be shocked if Garber's vision is still any good. We're lucky he doesn't have a dog. To show Hunter how to move, I rise to a squat and start waddling through the grass, ready to drop if a shot should ring out. We're risking our lives for this. Why, you might ask? $1,000, that's why. Bexplore always hides some type of prize in the secret locations in her challenge videos. This time, the prize is a $1,000 Visa gift card, which she can be seen putting in a plastic sandwich baggie at the beginning of the video. Still, I find myself wondering, do hospitals take Visa gift cards? How much is a bullet wound going to cost me? I check that Hunter is following close behind me. We're walking like ducks. Old Man Garber's waiting for us to take flight. It's a long way to the edge of the woods and trees which will protect us from his sight and aim, but we finally make it. I crawl on all fours past the first few trees at the edge of the woods, then I hide behind a big, thick one and wait for Hunter. He's taking in his surroundings, trying to figure out where we are. "How far now?" I ask. Hunter says, "I'm not sure yet. I've never come this way before." I ask which way he has come before, getting nervous he's going to get us lost. He says, "I've only gotten there by going up through the hills and coming back down." That's probably how Bexplore got in. She's lucky. She probably didn't know about Old Man Garber and his long gun. I ask Hunter why we didn't go that way, and he says it's because it takes all day and somebody might beat us there. Plus, he says, there's mountain lions up there. The woods feel downright spooky. Everything is gray, the tree trunks, the dead leaves on the ground, even the sky above us. I thought it was blue when we were crouching in the prairie, but now it's overcast and gloomy. I hope it doesn't rain. I keep my eye out for trail cameras. The rumors about Old Man Garber's place also include booby traps, tripwire, and landmines. I also watch for those, although I don't really know how to look for landmines. We need to find the stream, Hunter says. The stream will lead us right to it. The further we get from Old Man Garber's place, the safer I feel. Walking into the untamed woods seems less dangerous now, like the worst is behind us. I hear moving water up ahead and ask if Hunter hears it too. He does, and we start walking faster. When we find it, trickling through a small ravine, we follow it. Hunter thinks we should walk upstream. He says there's a wider part that ends at the waterfall in the video. The part we found runs down from the pool at the bottom of the waterfall. He's right. The stream leads us to the waterfall. I can't pull up Bexplore's video to compare since our phones don't work way out here, but the waterfall sure looks familiar. The stream falls 10 feet over a big boulder protruding from the hill like a nose, down into a wide pool before trickling away the way we just came. I'm shocked this isn't a more popular place to visit. It looks like a painting where the water splashes at the bottom, spraying faint rainbows in the air. It's probably because of Old Man Garber that nobody knows about it. I give Hunter crap for not telling me sooner. It's the sort of place that I would probably bring a girlfriend to, but only somebody special, because it's the kind of place that feels meaningful. What I mean is, the air feels heavier here. I don't know why, but the only place I've been to that feels this way is the cemetery outside of town. Standing on top of all those dead bodies, that's how it feels standing next to the pool. We find an even bigger hint that we're in the right place. Bexplore's camera bag. Awesome, says Hunter. Bonus prizes. Inside the bag we find nice cameras, lots of extra batteries and memory cards, and even snacks. She even left a big half-full canteen. Are you sure Bexplore left this? I ask Hunter. Of course, there's no way for him to know either. It just seems odd that anyone would leave all this expensive gear behind. We decide to worry about who the bag belongs to later. If it does belong to another treasure hunter, they're not around at the moment, and we want to see if we can find the gift card before they come back. That turns out to be harder than we hoped. We must look for 2 hours before Hunter says, in the video, maybe she put it in a plastic baggie because she put it in the water. How deep is this? I ask. Hunter shrugs. There is a pair of goggles still in the package in Bexplore's camera bag, if that's who it belongs to. It must have been her spare because there's also empty packaging left from a second pair. If I dive down there, we're splitting it 60-40, I say. Hunter considers, then shrugs. I say, fine. I'm down to my underwear. I make Hunter turn away and don't tell him to turn around again until the water tickles my belly button. At least it's not too cold. Pretty warm for river water, actually. I'm guessing it heats up a lot while pooling here and not moving or something. I'm wearing the spare goggles on top of my head, and as the water threatens my nipples, I pull them down. The goggles, I mean. The pool slopes deeper than I hoped. In 2 more steps, I'm neck deep. I can't even feel the spray from the fall yet. I swim towards it, having a hard time not thinking about how much dark water is under me. Think she put the gift card behind the waterfall? Hunter asks. I shrug my bobbing shoulders. I get close to try to see through the waterfall, but it's splashing too hard at eye level. Before I can think myself out of it, I swim under the crashing water. Or try to. The pummeling gallons falling on my head and shoulders make it hard to know if I'm moving or if it's just the water spinning around me. My arms push me forward, my legs kick, but I stay in place, twisting, trying to find up. I can't. Everything around me is greenish brown and fizzy like I'm swimming in Pepsi. I need to dive deeper and pass through. I let some air out to sink faster, then let out a little more. My lungs start telling me that was a bad idea. My shoulders feel numb and my arms all tingly as I push myself forward, trying to swoop beneath the rumbling water above. I hit the rock wall with my hands and feel my way up, climbing more than swimming. My right hand goes through the rock wall. I pause, nearly out of oxygen, my chest wanting to pop. I kick, rising, but my right hand waves through empty water again. There's just enough light down there for me to see why. I've found an underwater cave hidden behind the waterfall. It looks big enough to fit inside, and I guess I probably know where Bexplore hid the gift card. I think I see a small light in there, like something small reflecting back at me. I stick my arm in and feel around for a sandwich baggie, just for a second. Unless I want to stay down here forever, I need to surface though. I brace my feet on a rock and kick up. Something catches around my ankle. It twists, wrapping tight. I scream. The pressure in my chest goes away, but so does the last of my oxygen. It feels good, which scares me. Does it feel good to drown? Warm colors swarm my brain. I try to shake off the cold thing wrapped around my ankle, but it twists tighter the more I move. Luckily, I'm right at the surface now, safe on the other side of the waterfall. I break above, swallowing oxygen and wet rock smell in big gulps. My arms flounder for something to hold on to pull myself out of the pool so I can get rid of the snake or weed or whatever won't let go of me. "Are you okay?" Hunter asks, listening to me recover from almost drowning. I need more air before I can reply. I heave my dead leg, numb from not enough oxygen, up onto a rocky ledge. Lucky for me, the thing that grabbed me isn't alive. It never was. What I accidentally caught down there by that cave looks like a headlamp. While the warm drowning colors fade, I reach over and untwist the headlamp. Turns out, the box attached to the headlamp isn't a lamp. It's a camera. To Hunter, I yell that I found another clue. How Bexplore expected anyone to find it, I do not know, but I guess I found it, didn't I? I'm just your average country boy. What do I know? I shout my discovery to Hunter and climb high enough to jump through the waterfall, which lets me swim back without almost drowning again. It was a nice high, but not something I needed to experience again so soon. On shore, I get dressed while Hunter tries to turn the camera on. No juice. Hunter points out we have a bag full of batteries, so we try swapping the bad one out. I think the water destroyed the whole thing. Hunter says it was designed for underwater use. He turns out to be right. With a fresh battery, the camera from the pool blinks on right away. Hunter and I take a while to find how to watch the footage from the memory card, but we get it. 3 rows of tiny pictures appear, thumbnails, and even though they're so tiny, we both recognize Bex Sultana, aka Bexplore, in a few of them. This looks like the same footage from the challenge video, Hunter says. I say, it must be a clue. Hunter doesn't seem so sure. He seems worried. I ask, has she uploaded any videos since? Hunter tries to check, but like I said, our phones don't work way out here. One of the thumbnails looks dark. I recognize the greenish-brown color from being underwater. I tap on that one. A little circle appears, spins around for a few seconds, then disappears. The video begins to play. The clip starts with the camera mounted to Bexplore's head. She looks around at the trees, scans the waterfall. She looks down at a plastic baggie with a blue Visa gift card inside. Now she's walking over to a bag on the ground, the same camera bag which gave us the battery to watch this clip. That's weird, says Hunter. I guess this is definitely Bexplore's bag. The camera shows Bexplore's hands rifling through the bag until she finds a flashlight, a fancy-looking one that's probably waterproof. I look up, and, at a glance, I don't see it in the bag now. Then her hands are coming together in a triangle with the flashlight in the middle, and she dives into the water. Bexplore does a way better job going under the waterfall than me. Does it have sound? Hunter asks. I can't find the volume, so I yell at him. He shows me how to turn it up. I don't know how he knew. Lucky guess. Bexplore surfaces behind the waterfall. This is it, the big moment where we finally get to see where she put our small fortune. She doesn't put the gift card anywhere yet. We listen to her take some big breaths, then back down she goes. I know where she's going. The cave or tunnel or whatever it is. She sinks down to its black mouth and shines her light inside. If I'd known how deep that thing went, I never would have stuffed my arm in there. Not for a second. That cave easily could house something big enough to chomp my arm off. I think it spooked Bexplore too, because she stopped shining her light in there pretty fast. More greenish brown, then she has the sandwich-bagged gift card in her hand again and she's going into the cave. Oh my God, she goes in deep. Her whole body must be inside that thing. I shudder, but only because I've soaked through my clothes now. I don't know if I can go in that cave to get the card. I start plotting how to make Hunter do it. Maybe I'll tell him we can go 50-50 again. Screaming all of a sudden, Bexplore drops the baggie and the flashlight and starts looking back over her shoulder over and over again. I think she wants to turn around, but she can't. There are lots of bubble noises and muffled noises like Bexplore needs to breathe really bad, probably because she just screamed out all her air. I just want her to show us what freaked her out. I just want to know what's down there. Did she just run out of breath? Maybe she's claustrophobic and didn't know it. After a few seconds, everything goes still and quiet. Hunter points out the camera got knocked off her head. It's stuck on a rock, waiting for my foot. I say, it wasn't a clue. It was an accident. Dude, says Hunter, what if she didn't make it out? Then how did she post the challenge video? I ask. He says, she must have posted it before diving down to hide the gift card. Oh, I bet she didn't want to be all wet so she didn't give it away. It might be one of the smartest thoughts he's ever had. I say, well, she's definitely not inside that cave. I put my arm in there, dude. I didn't feel anything but rock. Although, there was that faint light deeper in. Bexplore's flashlight? I choose not to mention it. We should call the police, says Hunter. I remind him we can't, and Hunter says, then we should go home so we can call them. I ask, and let somebody else find the gift card? Let's get what we came for before this whole area gets blocked off. Suddenly, I feel confident again. Suddenly, because Hunter's showing weakness, I project strength. I'll swim back down there. Now that I know how to do it and where to go, it'll be easy. Easy? Asks Hunter. Easy, I assure him. I want to assure us both, but cannot quite accept it myself. However, as a big brother, I can't back out now. Hey, I say. Strap the camera to my head. If I find Bexplore's body down there, it'll go viral for sure. So, back in my underwear and with Bexplore's camera strapped to my forehead, I dive into the pool again. This time I surface once before swimming under the waterfall. I surface again smoothly on the other side. Fixing my goggles, I dive back down, looking and feeling until I find the mouth of the cave. The little light inside shows me Bexplore's body is not stuck inside the cave. Otherwise, she'd be blocking the light. How her flashlight stayed on for over 2 whole days blows my mind. Like the rest of the gear in the camera bag, it must be very expensive. With that light as my guide, I swim into the cave. My movements feel more like crawling than swimming. I hope Hunter set up the camera on my head correctly. I can see the corner of the plastic baggie near the flashlight. I reach the flashlight first. When I pick it up, I shine it deep into the cave while I reach for the baggie with 1,000 preloaded dollars inside. But my hand freezes inches away. At the end of the light, 2 bright circles are staring back at me. I don't need to see any more than that. I snatch up the baggie and stuff it in my underwear, all while keeping the flashlight on those 2 glowing things. Eyes, I know they are. The pressure in my chest is making my throat want to explode. I shove myself backward. The eyes shoot forward. Like Bexplore before me, I scream. My underwater scream is recorded on the same camera as hers. I wasted all that air on a sound nobody will hear. I drop the flashlight to move faster. It lands flat, still shining on the creature creeping toward me. It's no fish. A pale arm and wrinkled hand reach forward, pulling the rest of her body into the light. Yes, her. Cutting through the panic I'm feeling now, I realize I recognize the dead woman slinking toward me. It's Bexplore, somehow alive and in what flesh is left. I can't push myself backward as quickly as she pulls herself forward. Long hair billows behind her head like a million tentacles. Also floating around her, loose skin from open wounds on her back and shoulders. The flashlight reflects white bones in her exposed neck. She's a corpse so mangled, all the blood washed out of her, yet she can still crawl toward me so much faster than I can back away. She crawls over the flashlight, knocking it aside. The cave goes dark. My chest wants to explode. My scream let out all my oxygen, so it's all carbon dioxide ballooning inside me. I can hear her moving toward me, reaching, wanting to keep me down here with her. My legs kick into open water. I shove backward with everything I've got left. I feel one of her cold, slimy hands brush my fingertips as my hands push away from the cave. I push back so hard, my legs get caught in the swirl under the waterfall. The camera gets ripped off my head as the swirl sucks me in, spins me around, makes me blow out the last bit of oxygen I didn't even know I had. For all intents and purposes, I'm dead in the water. But lucky me, the swell spits me out on the other side hard enough to push me to the surface. I come up gasping and coughing. Hunter jumps in to help me. "No," is all I can get out. It doesn't make him stop. "Out," I say, then cough. "Of the..." coughing again. Oh man, any second I'm going to watch my brother get yanked under the water. "Water," I can finally shout. By now, I've swum close enough for him to reach out for my hand. I don't take it, but another hand reaches up from below and takes my ankle. My hand shoots for my brother. The rest of me flounders. I feel my brother's grip around my wrist, and I'm pulled away from the slippery hand around my leg. Hunter gets me back on land, and I can't believe I'm alive. Now we're here, crouched in the grass behind Old Man Garber's place again. He's yelling something. It still sounds like he has peanut butter in his mouth. I can't understand a word he's saying, and neither can Hunter. I yell back that he should please call the police. I tell him we're not bad guys. I tell him we'll cooperate. I tell him there's been a terrible accident and that it's an emergency and we need the police. He yells back something so thick, I think I can smell peanuts on the breeze. "What are we going to do?" asks Hunter. "Help me convince him to call the cops," I say. He says, "No, about the gift card." I shoot him a look that says, "Now?" I say, "Can we get out of here first? There's something evil back there, dude." "Surprised he doesn't have a dog," Hunter says. I say, "Keep it down, man. Don't give him any ideas. Just help me convince him about the cops." Hunter, the big dummy, nods at me before he rocks into a squat, puts his hands straight up in the air, and slowly stands. "Mister," Hunter yells, "I think we could both use some authorities here, don't you think? Me and my brother here don't mean you any harm. We aren't here to cause trouble, I swear." To me, he says, "Hey Jake, stand up." He kind of smirks and whispers, "Garber's aiming 6 feet to my left right now." Oh, okay, I think. And not really wanting to wait there for the police with those woods behind my back, I sprint through the grass. "Hey," Hunter yells. Old Man Garber's gun goes off. Man, Hunter wasn't kidding. Garber's so far off I don't even hear the bullet snap as it passes behind me. Don't worry about Hunter, he's right beside me, getting ahead. "Just run, dude," I yell. Garber's gun goes off again. Oh, he's closer now. I hear the ricochet. I catch up to Hunter. The good news is, if old man Garber's aim is that off, he probably can't ID us. I hope. I'm kinda mad at Hunter for mentioning we're brothers. There's not too many brothers our age in this town at the moment. Oh well, we'll probably have to tell the cops we trespassed on Garber's property in order to give them our story anyway. At the sheriff's station, I get real nervous. I'm questioning how much I should say. Tell them about the camera bag we found? Yes, definitely. About the camera I found underwater? Probably. And the footage we saw on it? Maybe. Because then we'd have to explain why I lost the camera in the pool again. Which I should probably do, I guess. I just don't want to tell them we have the gift card. Those $1,000 won't do anybody any good in an evidence locker. And hey, Hunter and I did technically win the challenge fair and square. A deputy pulls us into a conference room and tells us to have a seat. He eyes my wet clothes and seems to have second thoughts. I sit too fast for him to say anything. He asks, "You two happen to know anybody that might have been sneaking around Bill Garber's place a short while ago?" Hunter's mouth opens, but before he can say anything, I ask, "Could we just skip to the crime we need to report?" The deputy says, "Okay, we'll circle back to Garber." I explain about Bexplore's challenge and how Hunter recognized the location of the prize. I say we went there, but don't mention going through Garber's land. I explain that I'm all wet because I dove into the pool looking for the prize, but I found Bexplore's camera instead. I say that I got freaked out because I might be swimming next to a dead body and dropped the camera back in the water. Then Hunter and I left the pool to come here. "And, how did you leave?" the deputy asks. "We walked," Hunter shoots back. In this brief moment, I love him dearly. "I think you know what I'm asking," the deputy with no sense of humor says. "Yeah, okay," I say. "It was us that Garber shot at. Did he mention how he tried to kill us while we were running with our backs turned? Anyway, isn't a dead lady under the waterfall behind his land more important right now?" "You think Garber killed that YouTuber?" the deputy asks. I guess I never considered that. I suppose it's not outside the realm of possibility. But no, the way she was all ripped apart, something more brutal than a gun got her. "No, sir, I do not think that," I say. "I just mean we trespassed a little bit because we needed to report a crime. Well, maybe a crime. I don't know. A death, though, probably for sure." "Probably for sure," the deputy repeats back, kind of mocking me. I see him pretend to write it in his notepad, and that makes me pretty mad. He's not taking us seriously at all. He says, "So you don't think it was Garber? Let me guess. Was it the witch?" "Which witch?" Hunter asks. Okay, now I want him to shut up. See, I didn't quite tell him everything I saw down there. He doesn't know I kind of want to hear about this witch. Getting all serious again, the deputy says, "So it seems I've got an admission from you that you both trespassed illegally on Bill Garber's—" "Well, hold on," I say. "Ignore my brother. He's being an idiot. Why'd you say that about the witch, though?" "Oh, come on," the deputy says. "You want me to believe you've never heard about the pool witch?" "It sounds kind of familiar," says Hunter. He's not being an idiot this time. The deputy says, "Yeah, well, your parents probably know about it. You guys really don't know, do you?" We shake our heads. I can tell the cop's leading us along, but I still want to hear it. He says, "Story goes that an ancient witch's spirit haunts those woods behind Garber's place. People say she comes up out of that pool. I'm guessing the one you're talking about. She comes out of it at night and stalks around looking for victims. I'm pretty sure it's just one of those stories old folks cooked up to keep their kids from playing near the woods. There's mountain lions up in the hills, you know." We nod. He says, "So, you swear you're not trying to pull anything? You really think there's a dead YouTuber down there in the pool?" "Yeah, we do," I reply. The deputy doesn't look excited about it, but he says, "All right, well, we'll look into it. But you know that means we'll have to talk to Garber, right?" "I don't have to tell you," through his land is the quickest way back to the pool. I'm gonna have to tell him I dealt with you guys, so you're both getting citations. Well, there goes a good chunk of our winnings. I'm torn. If I'd told that deputy everything I saw behind the waterfall, he never would have believed me. He would have figured I was making up one of the witch stories. I've never heard of any pool witch before. Not that he'd buy that. But by not telling him, am I killing somebody else? Man, I kind of hope the sheriffs are lazy and don't go diving for Bexplore's body. You know, maybe Old Man Garber will give the deputy a warning. I'm thinking about it now, and if this pool witch stuff is true, and it's true that Mrs. Garber drowned, maybe it happened back there in that pool. Does he know something about the witch? Is that why he's so protective of his land back there? And did whatever he thinks got his wife get Bexplore too? You know what? Maybe it's alright if the cops don't find Bexplore. If her story goes without an ending, that'll leave plenty of room for speculating. Lots of room for rumors. Maybe it's time for the old pool witch rumors to come back. I'll ask my parents about the old stories when Hunter and I finally get home. But first, I need a shower. You made it out. Congratulations. If you enjoyed the story, please rate, like, review, or subscribe. For ad-free episodes and bonus Into the Woods episodes, become a patron with the link in the description. You can also support the show by buying merch. That link is also in the description below. To stay up to date, follow me on Instagram at The Warning Woods, and if you feel ready, meet me here next week for another journey into the Warning Woods. Thank you for listening.